Here at Namaste, we feel some kind of way. There's something about when we say we love, we really love. We see you, we care. Please be yourself while you're here. That's exactly what keeps me coming back. That's exactly what. That's exactly what. That's exactly what keeps me coming back.
Good afternoon, Namaste. Glad you could join us, whether you're online or here in our beautiful space. If you're new, we're so glad that you joined us today. And if you're coming back again and again and again, welcome back. Namaste is a radically welcoming community. We believe that all paths lead to an awakening. All. Every one of them. Even the ones I don't agree with. We're here collectively revealing that love is the nature of who we already are. So if you will read with me who we are. And we do this every week, and it's just a great reminder, the fact that we come here to practice oneness. So let's begin. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is love, truth, light, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. So for those of you that are here in the building today, and even those that aren't, if you're online and you wish to have prayer, just go ahead and put that prayer in the chat area of either Facebook Live or YouTube. And for those of you here, when you walked in, you would have gotten or offered a prayer card. And that prayer card is what gets held by our amazing practitioner corps. So I'm just going to ask our practitioners who are here in the room today to just please stand while you're here. So we've got Nikki and Debbie Ann and Jackie and Valerie in the back. And of course, I'm a practitioner first. So grateful to do that. So if you'd like prayer, please talk to the one of them. And in the back of the room is where prayer happens today. And as you fill that card out, just drop that prayer card off into the box at the welcome table, and we would absolutely love to hold you in prayer for the week. And it does not matter what that is. So with that, Kong, it's great to see you today.
Nice to see you too, Bobby.
Thank you. And Des and Lorenzo, it's good to see you too. So I'm going to turn it over to the music team as we open with our congregational song.
All right, why don't we all stand up and let's dance a little bit. Let's have a good time. What do you say? Yeah, what do you say? All right, there we go. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. We come together. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, God loves me and I love you too. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together in the name of love. We come together. Walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Now lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. In the name of love. In the name of love.
Woo! Welcome, namaste. So, to begin our evening, I almost said morning, I'd like to invite Valerie Day, our practitioner who is on minister support, to bring forth the candle. As we do this, this is a reminder that we light that candle before each service, that we are that light, which is the truth of God. Thank you. We are that light, which is the truth of God. And that light burns throughout our service as a reminder of the oneness that is the truth of life in each moment. Thank you, Valerie. So, a couple things. I do want to remind you that this is Meditation Sunday. So after I am done with our invocation and Kong goes back into song, I am going to ask that you hold your applause and just stay in the sacred moment that the music team creates for us. And with that, we are going to read our affirmation together. I start here in this moment. I let go of fear. I rest in this moment and know it begins with me. In this moment, I am peace. This peace that I am, I share that peace with everything and everyone around me. Let us pray. So as I just breathe in that peace, that knowingness that truly all is well, I know that all the hands that have come together this day to create this service, the work has already been done. The space is made ready. And now it is the blessing to receive the message that God speaks through Bobby. I know that lands on open hearts. I know that the music team is held in this energy field of love, and as such shares that love with each of us. We are on a carpet ride of connection and unity and bridging all that was, all that is, with all that is to be. But it starts right here, right where we are in this moment. And so from that place, I give thanks and know our time absolutely is blessed and a blessing, and simply say, and so it is. And at this time, I would like to invite Debbie Ann Vokes, our Board of Trustee, who is on duty today.
Thank you, Nikki. My name is Debbie Ann, and I'm on the Board of Trustees. First thing we're going to do today is we're going to jump up and say hello to someone in the room, anyone. And Kong and the music team are going to play a little music, and when the music stops, go back to your seat. I forgot to change it. Thanks. wonderful namaste. Thank you, everybody. First thing we're going to do is read our mission together. I learn practical science of mind tools and practice in a loving, connected, and vibrant community to reveal my power and change my life. How do we do that? We awaken to a new truth in our lives. We then realize how that truth has played out in our lives. We take our new knowledge and transform our lives, and we repeat this process in our lives in new ways. Our power statements here at Namaste: we are a place of connection, healing, and unity. Hashtag we are Namaste, hashtag this stuff works. Okay, join us on August 13th for our annual community meeting after service. We will present, members will vote on a new board member. That's right, one of us is leaving. Someone's time is up. We are going to have a new draft of our mission statement that will be unveiled. Update on conversations with Seal Beach on our collaboration. We're going to have ecclesiastical and operations updates, including streaming and sound upgrades, our education format, and our financial state of affairs. A quick reminder on our daily spiritual practice. It's every morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. for prayer, support, and connection. You can call in or you can join on Zoom. And also the Safe Place, which is our ongoing hour-long grief support group. It's every second Wednesday at 7 p.m. and every fourth Monday at 10 a.m. And we've created the Safe Place to support grief from life events, the changes they bring, and to find comfort in community. Both of these, register on Eventbrite for the grief support group. Both of these offerings are within our newsletter, website, and Facebook page for the link. For our thank you, our gratitude goes out this week to Seal Beach and Great Conversation. If you were able to join us last week, you would have witnessed Reverend John De Palma joining Reverend Bobby on platform. And if you missed it, you can always watch it on YouTube on our page. So it was a good conversation, and some of the Seal Beach folks were here to join in service, and it was very uplifting and lively. And the other thing that will be talked about at our annual meeting is to hear the update on our collaboration with Seal Beach, so you don't want to miss that. Now I'm going to ask Reverend Bobby to come up and talk about digging deeper.
So Jeff Schlicht has left us a little gift. He's actually going to be taking on Digging Deeper for Rev Veronica while she's on a Disney cruise in Florida. Well, and wouldn't we just want to be there with her? So Digging Deeper is the creation of Reverend Veronica, and it's usually an opportunity to go a little bit deeper. So at this next Digging Deeper, which I am just amazed at the interest that's happening. We're having quite a number of folks sign up for this, not just from Namaste, but from other centers and other communities. So it's going to be on August 3rd at Zoom. So I'm going to play a video that Jeff has left just to build a little bit of excitement around this.
won't believe it. Psychic, medium, personal messages. Be there. Sign up now. Go to Eventbrite. Interactive. This is not to miss. Wednesday, August 3rd. See you then. Be there.
So I've signed up. I signed up a few of you, and you're not even aware of it. So when you go on there and you see your name. But this gentleman, Danny Michaels, is considered one of the most amazing angel mediums. So at minimum, it's going to be so interesting. I'm always curious about this particular art form, which is why I always show up for this. So make sure you register on Eventbrite. If you don't know where it is, on Monday, the newsletter will come out with a link for you to register. So I just really invite you to do that. And plus, doing anything with Jeff is fun, I must say. That should show you a little bit about Jeff if you haven't had an experience of him. And he is quite the amazing practitioner. He is the lead practitioner here at Namaste. So we're always grateful when Jeff steps in and does anything. So make sure you're there. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kong. And he's going to open up our sacred time. And just a reminder of what Nikki said is, stay in that space. Whatever that song brings out, just relax. Uncross whatever you got crossed. Open up to what is to be revealed today. Guaranteed we will take you to a new place today, and allow this time and space, including what Nikki will offer as our practitioner today, to go deep, to let go, and to surrender.
In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's relief. From a world filled with chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments when I hear that could never be said and right. This holy silence, I find God. I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world filled with chaos and noise. So I wait for these precious moments, and I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence I find God.
Thank you, music team. Oh, in the silence, I find God. I find myself. Before you came into the sanctuary, you should have all been given a bag of goo. Hopefully you have it. Is there anybody who needs some goo? Raise your hand. Thank you. So this goo is me when I do not sit in the silence. This goo is me when I forget that God and I are one. My life becomes a mess. It typically happens at least once a day. I forget. I get into the doingness of life and forget the beingness. And when I am in the doingness, that's when goo happens. A perfect example is yesterday. We had a lot on our plate. We were getting done. And I was not scheduled to be on service on platform tonight, but one of our practitioners needed me to step in, and I said yes. And in talking with Bobby about today's theme, I have to give the credit to my wife. We were driving to Camarillo, and she said, "Oh my gosh, I have the perfect idea." So really, I am bringing you Spirit's idea for today's meditation and share via my wife. And she looked at me and said, "We need to make slime tonight when we get home. And you're going to talk about the goo and the form and how you can't make it into something." So, great idea, ran with it, went to a baby shower. We're driving back from Camarillo. We then are invited to a barbecue. So we're stopping to get the stuff to make slime. We're now stopping to get stuff for a barbecue, and we are not home yet, and it's 6:30, and I'm seeing the clock go tick, 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 and I still need to make slime, and I still need to figure out what I'm doing on platform, and I still need to write a meditation, and my anxiety kicked in. Really big time. And we were at the grocery store, and we were about to check out, and the cashier's cash register broke down. So now I'm stressing even a little bit more. You know, I was keeping it at bay, but now it's creeping in a little bit more. We go get into another line. Come to find out that line is for customer service, not to check out. And now I have to tell you, the lines for every register is down the aisles. And now my anxiety level is off the roof. Am I in alignment with all that? This was a joyful experience, going to get the stuff. I'm going to a barbecue. I'm going to have time with my friends. I get to create something fun for Namaste. But my anxiety meant I was out of alignment with all that I wanted to, how I wanted to be in those experiences, because I was now thinking out here. I was in the doingness, and when I'm in the doingness, I am not in the beingness. I am not in alignment with God and I are one. I felt it. And Susan knew what was happening, but bless you, Susan, for just staying quiet, because I didn't need your input either at that point. So what I said to her, I said, "Really? I need to go outside right now. I need to go find my center because it is lost right now, and I don't enjoy being with me like that, let alone with anybody else. And I'm sure no one likes to be with me when I'm like that." So I stepped outside and realized that, okay, what's really going on here? Well, what was going on was that realization of that misalignment, where I was so into what I was expecting each activity to look like in the future, I could not be in the present moment. I could not be in peace. So I went and got quiet. So we're going to meditate with some goo of your own. So, I just also want to remind you that as this is Fourth Sunday, we come together to meditate in community as a spiritual practice, to lean into the power and oneness that we can experience by meditating in a group. So I'm going to ask you to begin by closing your eyes. Take a hold of your goo. Take a deep breath and just relax and release. Breathe in your rhythm. Just continue to focus on your breath, letting it go in and out, allowing yourself to get deeper, knowing exactly right where you are right now, you are safe. All is well. I want you to think about a situation in your life that you are struggling with. Maybe it's an old pattern, maybe it's a relationship. However, whatever that is, whatever you're trying to control an outcome, and you were struggling with that. Are you trying to control the people or the outcome? Is it unfolding the way you think it should? Now, as you are holding on to your bag of goo, try to manipulate it into some sort of form. Maybe you're making a snake, or a ball, or a cup. Is it doing what you want it to do? Is the goo cooperating with your doingness? Are you getting frustrated and annoyed, disappointed? Now, take another deep breath and release the idea of what the form should look like to you. Now bring the situation into your heart. Hold it there, holding it in love and light. Feeling that light and love permeate your entire being and wrap around the situation. In doing that, you are bringing God's wisdom into the experience. Quiet your mind and allow that wisdom of spirit in that silence to come forth. Use the goo to focus your attention to surrendering the idea of what the outcome should look like. Let it be malleable, pliable, flexible. Appreciate the properties of the goo. Is it cool? Is it smooth? Is it soft? How do you feel now? Does it bring comfort rather than frustration and anguish? Ask what Spirit's idea is for you around the situation. And lean into the silence. As the silence unfolds, trust for that's truly where the answer unfolds. That is where we rest in peace and wisdom and the knowingness. As you release and surrender what is no longer yours to try to fold and mold into an outcome. And as you step further and deeper into that surrender of God's will, begin to bring your awareness back to this room. Open your eyes when you're ready. And take the goo home with you as that reminder and practice that if you are trying to struggle to create an outcome that looks someplace and you are coming up against difficulty, pull out the goo and sit in the quiet. Namaste.
Mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, no. Where did all the blue skies go? Poison in the wind that blows. Whoa, mercy, mercy me. Used to be no, no. Oil wasted on the oceans and upon our seas, fish full of mercury. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No. Radiation underground and in the sky. Animals and birds who live nearby and dying. Oh, mercy, 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 mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. What about this overcrowded land? How much more abuse can she stand? Mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, where did all the blue sky go? Poison in the wind that blows from north and east to south. Oh, oceans, and upon our sea, fish full of mercury. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. No, radiation underground and in the sky. And most of us are living fire. Oh, mercy, 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 mercy me. Oh, things ain't what they used to be. What about this overcrowded land? How much more of you still understand? Oh, mercy, 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 mercy me.
That was sweet, wasn't it? Good afternoon, namaste. It's wonderful to be here. I spent the morning with Seal Beach and doing some service there, and it was really lovely to get to do. You know, sometimes I think, do I like doing a talk twice in a day? And I do. And that must be part of just my journey, that I just get to talk a lot, right? For some of us, that's just easy. So today, I want to talk about my favorite four-letter word, and that is surrender. And I know it's not really four letters, but sometimes it just feels like a four-letter word. So I'm going to start with a story. And so this man is up on a precipice and he falls because there's a tiger kind of walking around, and he decides to jump, and he grabs a limb of a tree, and he's just hanging from that limb of a tree. And below him are jagged rocks, and above him is still the tiger kind of roaming around on this precipice. And he cries out and he says, "Help, is anyone there?" And a booming voice that could be male or female or anything says, "Yes, I am here." And the man says, "God, is that you?" And the booming voice says back, "Yes, it is I." And the man yells, "Can you help me?" And God says, "Yes, you only have to do one thing, let go." And the man then says, "Is there anyone else out there?" If only it was easy to let go. We want to control our journey. We know best. We've been doing it for as long as we've been doing it, and it just seems to work out when I control things, doesn't it? How well does it work when I control things? Universally not so great, right? Universally not so great. But we have a resistance to looking at the issue for what it really is, because we spend our time trying to control all the circumstances and all the varying parameters or elements that are part of our journey. So I ask the question, you look back at the man, because I got to tell you, I'm that guy. I am hanging there from that limb, and I have the clinch of death often. I mean, you would have to pry my fingers off that limb sometimes. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to hold on no matter what, because when I look below, the alternative is jagged rocks, because that's what I see when I clench that hard to something. It's all jagged rocks below. It's the journey, isn't it? But what are those rocks below? Are they really rocks? Are they really jagged? But in my mind, based on what I typically practice, not only are they rocks, they're jagged rocks, and no doubt it is going to be the end of me. And it doesn't matter whether it's real, it feels that way. How often do we say, it better not rain today because if it rains today, I can't take my walk. It better not rain today because I'm going to the beach. It better not, it better not, it better not. Because I have plans. I have plans for how my day is going to unfold. How often do we say, I better get that raise, or I better get that, or I better get that, or I what? It could be any phrase that kind of adds up to something like that. Michael Singer in the Surrender Experiment said, "What would happen if we respected the flow of life and used our free will to participate in the unfolding instead of fighting it? What would happen?" In the book, The Surrender Experiment, for those of you that haven't read it, I suggest it, but it's funny, when the book finds you, it's like the teacher. When I'm ready, the teacher finds me. The book found me a number of years ago, and when I read it, it continues to find me. In The Surrender Experiment, Michael Singer details his life and how he decided to surrender to the flow of the universe. I'm going to explain more about what that might mean, but this is what he says right in the beginning. Life rarely unfolds exactly as we want it to, and if we stop and think about it, that makes perfect sense. The scope of life is universal, and the fact that we are not actually in control of life's events should be self-evident. The universe has been around for 13.8 billion years, give or take a billion years. And the process that determined the flow of life around us did not begin when we were born, nor will they end when we die. What manifests in front of us at any given moment is actually something truly extraordinary. It is the end result of all the forces that have been interacting together for billions of years. Pause for a moment, but I know better. We are not responsible for even the tiniest fraction of what is manifesting around us. Nevertheless, we walk around constantly trying to control and determine what will happen in our lives. No wonder there's so much tension, anxiety, and fear. Each of us actually believe that things should be the way we want them instead of being the natural result of all the forces of creation. Now, in Science of Mind, which is what we practice here, is we actually are part of that manifesting energy. And it is our perceptions and what we think about things that affects sort of what happens next. And it's a play, I think, between the power of the universe and it's a play between what I think should happen. So when things don't unfold in the way I think they should happen, I think I'm not manifesting. Kind of like the chrysalis in which the caterpillar enters. It's very interesting that as the caterpillar enters into the chrysalis, it completely is destroyed. Those imaginal cells that are part of the caterpillar know exactly what it needs to do next, and it doesn't have to be told where to go, those cells. The caterpillar knows that its life is ending and a new one is beginning. And it does not fight it. It actually enters into the chrysalis willfully because it knows within itself that the universe is unfolding, and this is part of its unfoldment. Now, claims about what we want in life are based solely on personal preferences made up in our minds. I know that when I was younger, I was reading through my journals in the last few weeks, and I was looking at from the time in which I was a young person in my teens to my young adult years, I was constantly navigating this idea of really how it worked. How did the universe work? I didn't call it the universe. I called it Heavenly Father. That's what I did as a young Mormon. And I was constantly negotiating. You know what? I'll be super perfect Mormon if you can just have someone ask me to prom. I'll be super perfect Mormon if I could just get that grade on that test that I need. I'll be super perfect. That was my journey being part of the Mormon faith, was you had to be perfect in order for God to answer your prayers. You had to be perfect in order for God to love you. What a message that is. And it wasn't until at some point in my life when I realized, which I'll talk about in a moment, in which I realized that I wasn't in control and there was no God out there kind of doing this either. Sort of, turning the levers this way and that way based upon some childlike, I would say almost petulant childlike love that I had learned that God was. So coming back to that idea of control is, do we think when we control that we know the best solution for the situation? Of course we do. I absolutely know the best solution for not only my life, but yours too, by the way. Not only my life, but I know what the best solution is for my spouse and our child, and for the nation, and for the planet, and for how people should drive on the way here to church. I was thinking about that too when I was on my way this morning. I was on my way to Seal Beach, and I wasn't late, but I was in that kind of uncomfortable zone I don't like to be in. I like to be on time. I'm a very on-time person. So 5 minutes late is not in my comfort zone. And there was a car in front of me, and I'm like, come on, there's lots of space in front of you, and the car next to me is right there, so I can't pass. And then I look at the car and I went, wouldn't that be funny if they were on their way to Seal Beach? And guess what? They were. And I'm thinking, oh, great, because now I've kind of pushed them a little bit. Not bad. Just kind of got a little close, and I'm just going to push this situation. And I'm thinking, did I really make that person go any faster? Absolutely not. Was I really controlling the situation? Absolutely not. But here's the thing. When we're suffering or when we're frustrated or whatever it is, we're holding on to something so tightly. We got that clench on that limb, and we're holding so tightly as if I hold on, nothing will happen. When we're controlling, we're constantly re-solidifying our belief. Are you ready? In a sense that we're separate. That somehow we're controlling a situation that isn't ours to control. Tara Brach, who I love, she calls it the clinch. It's why I keep calling it the clinch. So where am I clinching? Am I clinching in my body? Am I clinching in my behavior? Am I clinching to a situation? Am I clinching to a belief? Am I clenching my heart closed out of fear of being hurt? The only way for us to move forward to what we really desire, which is more peace, more abundance, and more joy, is to unclench, is to let go. Often when we're in that clinch, it's because we don't realize, myself including, that surrender is really the only way through. So let me just tell you what surrender isn't. Because, I think it's always good to start what something is not. It doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean resigning, because those things are denial. Letting go doesn't mean just letting go of anger or cutting off or doing whatever. It's not that. It's a natural release of grasping. It's the point, the moment that we become so present with an experience or an event that we feel what it feels. We allow this greater idea to present itself, and what we do is we lose our mind. Now, there's something to be said about losing your mind. We speak about losing our minds as if it's a bad thing. Veronica Tugaleva said this, I say, lose your mind. Do it purposefully. Find out who you really are beyond your thoughts and beliefs. Lose your mind and find your soul. Lose your mind and find your soul. It's the only way. There's a gentleman out there that teaches a program called the Sedona Process. And it's all about, in his process, about forgiveness and letting go. And what's interesting is, and you can look him up, his name is Lester Levinson. And he went through an experience in his life of letting go of relationships and a host of things, and he really got this art of letting go sort of down to a science. And then he was diagnosed with colon cancer. And he was really trying to understand how and what he was doing in his life to which he would have this experience of colon cancer. And so one of the processes that he uses, which is often in the metaphysical or New Thought world, which is he decided to ask his colon, what's going on? What am I doing? Hey, colon. I don't know if you turn around for that, but I'm just going to imagine you just talk to your colon. So he says, colon, my dear friend, what am I doing? How can I create more health and wholeness in us? And his colon came back and said this. He said, you are demanding that the world be different so that you are comfortable. Now, part of me wants to know, well, what kind of voice was the colon speaking back? But that's just, kind of that side thing of me. Demanding that the world be different. The challenge to surrender is the only person that really changes in any situation is me. So, in order for us to truly kind of bring about a change in any moment, situation, and circumstance is, one, to stop blaming the outside world for what's going on in me. Whatever you're frustrated about, whatever you're upset about, it's right here. It doesn't matter what it is. It could even be completely unfair. But the reaction inside of us is ours. A number of years ago, when my grandmother lived with me, I had to move her into a space, I've mentioned this before, where she could be cared for while I continued to work. And so I could support us financially. And when I moved her into this new location, which was a board and care, it looked good. Grandma was resistant. I was really upset. Both of us were really struggling. I felt absolutely guilty that I had to move her into a place and that I wasn't the one that was caring for her. It was not possible. The day after we moved her in, I came back to visit with her, and the caregiver said to me, your grandmother's had a stroke. And the stroke, what we were finding, was part of the type of dementia that she had had. And that dementia, over time, prior to this, had made her extremely fearful, and she was really worried about being a burden to me. And it was so all-consuming that every time we met, it was really challenging to sit and have a conversation with her. So after the caregiver told me she had a stroke, I walked into this common area where she was sitting, and I looked at her, and she's all smiles. And she is just this joy to see me. The stroke took from her the ability to walk. It also took her memory of her fear. Her fear of being alone and her fear of being a burden. And for those last few months that we spent together, that fear was gone. And my fear of being not good enough as a granddaughter was gone too. Lose your mind, find your soul. When we're caught up in a moment, the first thing we do is call ourselves bad or deficient or the outside world. If you can let go a little, you'll find a little peace. If you can let go a lot, you can find a lot of peace. If you can let go absolutely, you can have absolute peace. The more difficult and challenging the situation, the more potential for growth and light. As Rumi said, keep your gaze on the wounded place, because that's where the light enters. 3 things I'd like to leave with you. Letting go is about letting go of our thoughts, the things we practice over and over and over. So skilled, so skilled. Let go of a resistance to feeling exactly what we're feeling. Letting go of resistance. Letting go to the larger idea of a grander experience. Can I not characterize something as it shouldn't be? Can I look at the experience and see what is here for me to learn and know more about myself and my world? Let us pray. So as we come together on this beautiful day, this Sunday, this space and place we call Namaste, this community of oneness, the place where you and I are one. I remember who I am. And as I recognize that, I know that same truth for each person in this room, that we are one. And that every situation or circumstance that comes up, I first ask, what is in this for me? I do not seek to first change it. I seek first to know, what is this for me? And I know this truth for each person in this room as we walk this path of surrender, which is the ultimate freedom. It is that freedom that is God. So I accept this for myself and everyone in this room. And I let go, and I let God. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Rev Bobby. Thank you. What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? Lend me your ears and I'll sing you a song. And I'll try not to sing out of key. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, what do I do when my love is away? Does it worry you to be alone? How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad 'cause you're on your own? No, I get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try to love. Could it be anybody? I want someone to love. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Let me hear you sing it. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Would you believe in love at first sight? Yes, I'm certain that it happens all the time. What do you see when you turn out the light? I can't tell, but I know it's mine. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? Ooh, yeah, you know I do. Could it be anybody? I want someone to love. I get by little help from my friends. Oh, I get high, little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Thank you.
I just love me some Beatles, and I love how you guys do that.
That's kind of the Joe Cocker version.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, kind of.
I kind of think it was, yeah. Little Joe Cocker Beatles, I'm all in. Just give me a little of that.
That was the Kongified version.
That's
true.
the Kong version, right? Oh my goodness, so grateful to get to be here today. And just know this is the time of our conscious giving, our gratitude for just getting to be here. You know, the thing about that song, and the reason we picked it, is because we don't do this alone. We don't let go alone. We don't surrender alone. We don't walk this path alone. Why do we choose to do it? Don't have to choose to do it alone. So in that gratitude right here and right now, I just honor the fact that we don't do it alone. We can choose to, but it sure is much more difficult. So in that, I just know that as we give to this community, not financial is often what comes on, but time and talent, as we show up as ourselves, as we show up authentically, as we show up sometimes feeling so broken, we get to step in here, we get to step into community, we get to be held as we heal. That's what we do here. So I'm very, very grateful for that. So if you will, read with me today our affirmation as a giving community. We give today as a community rich and intentional in creating a world that supports the peace that is who we are and peace for all who enter here. As we give, we anchor in that peace, in our prayers, in our actions at home, our daily practices, and how we show up at home. We affirm this is true, and so it is. So I want to just thank a few people that really stepped up today. Nikki, thanks for stepping up for Candace today, who needed to be at home. And Kong, Des, and Lorenzo, as usual. And I want to thank Matt and Tori over here, different Tori. And Lena in the back, who's hiding, doing our sound. Our sound is so amazing in this space. Thank you. Thank you for that. And I wanted to thank Valerie Day for being our minister support, Debbie Ann Folks for being our board of trustee, and Jackie for stepping in and shadowing and just supporting the whole thing today. And Eileen C. Davis in the back. I know you're back there, Eileen C. Davis. Who else was on the welcome team that I don't? Carrie. Carrie, you're here every week. I love it. Way to show up, Carrie. Thank you. Thank you very much. And so with that, let us do our benediction. Am I on? Lena, I'm in love. It's true. It's true, you can love more than one thing. You can love infinitely, right? Plenty of love to go around. So let me just say this. Something wonderful's happening. Am I wrong or am I right? Well, tell me what's happening. Wonderful is happening through me. When? 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 I almost heard you. There it is. What is it called? Where is it? Hold on. Somebody turn around to Eileen C. Davis and tell her where life is. Tori, tell her where it is. There it is. What else is it? And what am I going to do with it? Hold on. You just heard about surrender, people, that four-letter word that you're now going to embrace completely and wholly, right? I accept it doesn't mean I just accept it only when it fits and suits me. So what am I going to accept? And how do I do that? Hold on, because this is big for some of you people in the controlling room. We're going to put you over in the back because this particular statement really matters. I'm going to accept it. I'm going to share it just the way it is, just the way it appears. And Kong, will you say this with me, this last gratitude line, which is, you can see it right up there, right? So Kong knows it because he's here every Sunday, so let's just go with that. So with the gratitude, could you give me a little build on the music here, just a little bit, because we're about to say something. It's such gratitude. So I want you to start with your toes, and I want you to move up to your calves, and up to your thighs, and up to your derriere. And the rest of you, as it moves up to the top of your head and it starts to explode, because I'm going to tell you, something is going to come out of your mouth that means more than anything you can ever say. And could you please tell me what that is, Kong, with them?
Yes.
Go.
Thank you, life.
Let's do this close.
We're going to get you dancing today. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy, I choose joy. When the world stops spinning around, I choose joy. When my heart just won't move, when the music's lost its groove, when I have too much to prove, I choose joy. Joy, 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 I choose joy. Joy, 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 I choose joy. Hate is all that I see. I choose joy, I choose joy. When my fear won't let me be, I choose joy. When betrayal and lies hide the light from my choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy. Woo!
Have a great week. Namaste.